Okay, so just so you guys know, those of you who bought the exercise stick, good and sturdy. Yeah, I can sell 2 of them now. And the exercise rocks, I think I can lift something heavier. I do have some micro weight attachments to add to your training. Now, you're gonna ask me, what is the price? What is the price of these leaves for your weight training home gym setup of sticks and rocks? Well, I got a deal for you. $90. Actually, you know what? Let's make it $89.95 for a set of 2 leaves for your system. Now, you're probably gonna say, hey Jason, you know, that's a little bit more expensive than the rock and the stick. Why is that? Well, we did have a little bit of a supply issue, and apparently a lot of these were leaving the warehouse. So just send $89.95 to naturalglambodybuilding.com and you too can have your micro weight adjustments to add to your rock and stick set. Mountain.
Train the muscles, not the joints.
One thing I want to talk about today is that there is no such thing as a set range of motion in every single circumstance. And what I mean by this is that the level of weight that you are using, or the level of tension that you're using, or the level of intensity, if you want to use that word, like what percentage of your 1 rep max are you using, that will dictate what range of motion is best. So we all know that if you're stretching or you're doing extreme ranges of motion, very little tension is best in order for the joint to be preserved through the whole range of motion, right? So it doesn't mean that doing like super full ranges or stretching is bad. That can actually be very beneficial for the body, but it's not necessarily beneficial with heavy amounts of weight. Now, one standard example of this is, say, when I'm doing skull crushers. I found that doing 5 rep sets for skull crushers with the same type of range of motion I was doing reps of 15 or 20 with would irritate my elbow. So I noticed that sets of 15 to 20 reps was better for that type of movement for my body. So what I'm trying to open your mind up to right now is realizing that the amount of weight that you use will be a factor in what range of motion is going to be most effective. Now, that doesn't mean constantly diminishing range of motion as you go upwards in weight, but there will be a range of motion that is ideal for strength training, and then there will be an ideal rehabilitation range of motion. Bodyweight squats can be one example of this. Sometimes I'll squat butt to the floor, all the way down, round the lower back and everything, and I find that that helps realign my knees. I get some cracking and popping, I get a good burn in the vastus medialis, and at the same time it feels like my knees get some blood flow in there, and it's a positive range of motion under those circumstances of just using body weight. But when I'm putting 400 pounds on my back, this would be knee suicide. You know what I'm saying? It would just pop my knees out. It would cause nothing but joint pain because it would overly stress certain areas which are already stressed during that movement for my particular body type. So what I'm trying to say to you is that doing full range of motion movements with the shoulders, like such as stretching, or even say you're swimming or something and you're doing all these extended ranges with the shoulder and stuff, that can be very positive, but you wouldn't necessarily want to do those ranges of motion such as 2 rep sets behind the neck press and that sort of thing. You see? So it's not like an either or types. It's more like there is a time and place for certain ranges of motion and a time and place for other ranges of motion. You know, and I always talk about passive ranges of motion and active ranges. Passive ranges are when there's very little tension on the muscles and you're stretching a joint through its full range of motion. And then active range is when there's a lot of tension on the muscles, and therefore the tension should be a little bit more conservative, because in the absolute stretch state during active range of motion, there's exponential stresses placed upon the joint and the ligaments. So these are things to think about when you're training, and things to think about when you're also having some trouble with training, such as what I just talked about, whereas if you're always just doing the active ranges of motion or just the ranges of motion for heavy weights and strength, you may feel that it's necessary for you to do some rehabilitation type work, very, very light or next to no weight at all, but going through the full range of motion, kind of like I'm doing with bodyweight squats when I squat right to the floor and up and just get the knees to realign and the hips to realign in proper positioning. And this all leads you to getting plumpy and lovey. So I hope this helps out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalglambodybuilding.com, and thanks to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now. Mountain. Hey, look, leaves. I'm rich. That's limited supply. There's limited supply.